Hi folks, my name is Ron and I'm the admin of this group, as you know, and it's really a pleasure to see a number of people that have joined this group. But folks, please allow me just to get something off my heart. You know, I'm standing here in a very peaceful background, basically, which is my backyard, to be honest with you. My cottage is just a little way from here, but I just needed to get away where I normally come, where it's very quiet and away from people, where I can just keep my mind focused on things of God. But I need to share something very deep on my heart with you as a group, and that is that I have a desire not just to start this group and to call it, you know, youth outreach. I forget what the name of the group is now. Forgive me for that. Youth support. I want to share with you the idea behind my name of the group. Folks, it's my desire not just to start a group, because I'll tell you why. And a lot of you will be able to relate to this. You can join as many Facebook groups as you want to. You can join really nice groups, and there's nice comments and there's nice pictures and everything like that. But you know, the one thing I've experienced with groups, it's not personal. It's never intimate. It's never personal. And you're just basically a number. And I don't mean to sound harsh by saying that, but there's no one-on-one. There's no interpersonal interaction, if you know what I mean. And last night after midnight, I was busy working on a laptop that I was given. My next door neighbor was having problems with his computer, and I was sitting till after midnight trying to sort it out. And I was thinking about the group, and something that I really believe God impressed upon my heart was to share what I'm sharing with you now. And that is this: what if there was a group that, instead of just being part of a group and just being a member in the group and just welcoming you onto the group and then forget about you, what if we had a group that was really personal, that each member that came into the group was really a friend, a listening ear? And if you remember correctly, in my video that I made with this group, that is what I'm offering, to be a listening ear. But still, all it really involves is just joining the group, and then that's it. You know, you don't get interaction. So I decided last night to open up another group, and I want to refer you to that group. And it's called One-on-One, all right? One-on-One. And it's I want it to be a special group, and I'll tell you why. And here I'm really just opening up my heart to you. Folks, people are hurting. We live in a broken world. We live in a world where children are coming out of divorced homes, where children are not able to cope. We're living in a world where marriages are struggling. And because it's personal to them, they won't speak about that. You know, we live in a world where, well, really, the whole world is falling apart. As I said in the previous video, you know, at any given moment, or rather at this time, I Googled it the other night, but there's about 55 conflicts, wars going on around the world. And you ask, why are there wars? There's only wars because some people want what other people have got. The Bible even tells you that. You know, from where does wars come from among you? It's because that person wants what that person's got. And one country wants that country's gold, so they make a war with it. And it just doesn't make sense. War never makes sense. War's an ugly thing. But it comes down to us as individuals. Sometimes we envy other people, what they've got, their homes, their cars, their money, their families, the way they're happy and everything like that. But really, I don't want to concentrate on anyone else. I want to concentrate on you as an individual. Right now, you as an individual watching this video, whoever you may be, I want it to be personal between you and I, because this is what God has put on my heart. And I really, folks, and I'm really being very sincere here, and I'm really not going to make this video a long video, because I want you to listen to what I'm going to say. I want to give you the opportunity to reach out to me personally. Just excuse the ducks in the background there. I came a little bit early to feed them because, yeah, they come back again. We've got about 6 ducklings over here. I don't know if you can actually see them, but there's 6 ducklings, and then mom and dad duck. They're coming right up to, they're very tame. They stand right by my feet here, and they actually eat food that I give them out of my hand. But now, well, okay, let that not be a distraction, but they are right next to me here. I wish I could just show you. I'll take a video of them just now, them eating from me, and then I'll show you what the ducks look like. But anyways, I've got 6 ducklings at my feet at the moment. Folks, this is what it's about. I want this group, not this group, the one I'm going to refer you to. I want to put the link at the bottom of this video, this YouTube video, and I want to put the link there, and I want you to actually go and join that group. Please go and join that group, all right? Because it's going to be something very, very different, and I'm going to tell you why it's going to be different to virtually any other group out there. Is a lot of admins that make these groups put a lot of rules to their groups. They say you can't advertise that, and you can't say this and can't say that. Well, I don't have any rules to my group. I don't. Well, obviously there are unwritten rules. If somebody comes on and uses vulgar language, then I'm going to block that person. Okay, but that's obvious, and I think that goes without having to state it. But the reason it's going to be different is because it's going to be a personal group. As I was saying just before the ducklings arrived, I got a bit sidetracked there. Everyone is hurting in one way or the other in this life. Everyone. Every one of us. Every one of us have experienced disappointment in our lives. We've experienced letdown. We've experienced maybe betrayal. We've experienced tragedy, hurt, loss of a loved one, unfairness. Folks, if I were to give you my grocery list of all of those things, well, you know, it'll be a very long grocery list of hurt that I've had to go through. But for that reason, folks, I want to open up this group so that it's a one-on-one, and I'm making myself available to you personally so that you and I can chat one-on-one through Messenger or through WhatsApp or any other way, through phone call or whatever other way, through email. I want to be in touch with you. And there's a reason I'm doing this, folks. It's because I remember during the darkest times of my life, and I don't want to go through and share with you my testimony about those times, but I've been through very, very dark times in my life, very dark times, including the loss of my son and basically my family. I haven't seen my daughter in 15 years, and there doesn't go a day by that I don't think about her, that I don't wonder how it's going with her. And then I think a lot of other questions. Why did she suddenly withdraw when her brother died? And because 3 weeks after I lost my son and I lost my mom, and I don't want to have to go through that because it's not about me, but I'm just saying that is part of my background, and those were some of my darkest times. And the reason I'm actually mentioning it here again on this video is because it was at that time when I needed a one-on-one, and I couldn't find it. I needed a one-on-one. I needed someone just to, not to, you know, can I share something personal with you? When I lost my son, a lot of people came around and they said something that made me absolutely, today I have a passionate hatred for that word. I hate it. And it is the word condolences. People would say, Ron, I want to give you my condolences. And because I heard it so many times, it meant nothing to me. It really meant nothing to me. In fact, I remember still people giving me cards, and I must have had a pack of about 25 cards. And I opened up the first one and it said, our condolences. That's it, our condolences. And it was from people that I hadn't heard from in years, that couldn't bother to actually contact me when I was going through a difficult time, before I even lost my son. They couldn't bother to phone me and say, Ron, how are you doing? How's it going? Can we come around Can we have a cup of coffee together? Can we share? They couldn't be bothered to do that, but when I lost my son, they would be very quick to send a card and said my condolences. As a result, I'll tell you what I did, and I don't mind sharing this with you. I took those cards, the rest of the 25 cards that I had that were unopened, and I took them and I eventually threw them into the boot of my car, and eventually I actually ended up burning them. Now, I often think about that in a funny kind of way. I thought, what if somebody had put a 100 Rand note in there, to say, well, I hope this sees you over. And I often think about it. I thought, well, maybe it was 500 Rand somebody would have put into an envelope, and there I go and burn it. But the point I'm making is, when you go through a tough time, you don't need somebody to come around and say, Ron, I want to give you my condolences. And the only reason people say that, and forgive me if I've done that. I've said to people my condolences, okay? But I stopped doing that years ago. And the reason for that is because people don't know what to say when tragedy hits your life. When you go through a divorce, when you lose a loved one, especially a child. And I can tell you that's one of the worst things any parent can ever experience. But whenever you go through tragedy and somebody comes along and says, I just want to give my condolences, and then you very kindly nod and you say thank you, but inside you reckon, you want to get sick. I know I did. I felt, oh man, I don't want to hear that word ever again. But the fact is, folks, here's what I'm getting at. Sooner or later, if you've never experienced tragedy, if you've never experienced hardship or difficulties in your life, you're going to, I won't say you're going to experience it, but if it does happen, and you need someone to speak to, someone that's neutral, someone that's been through it. And folks, I'm not going to stand here, like I said, and go through my grocery list. I've just recently written a book. About a month ago I finished writing it. And I've written several books, but the last book I wrote was called The Privilege of Pain. And if any of you need a copy of that book, all you need to do really is just send me a private message or send me my email. I'll put my email at the link here below. And you can just send me an email and I'll send you a copy of that book or any of the books that I've written. But in there I speak about the pain. And as I said, the book is called The Privilege of Pain. Folks, because without pain, you're not going to grow. And it's like an athlete who really wants to win a gold medal at the Olympics. Folks, let me tell you something. Whatever sport he's in, he will tell you, whatever sport it is, it takes a lot of pain, physical pain, even emotional, even sometimes spiritual pain, to get to the point where he is the number one in the world or whatever he's doing. And in the same way, if we want to be winners and conquerors in this world, we've got to go through pain, because pain does make you strong. Pain makes you learn how to cope with more pain. Well, that has been my experience at any rate. Okay. So what I did was I created this group. It's actually called One-on-One, and again, I forget the last two, but One-on-One something, all right? But I'll give you the link. The link is at the very bottom here. Just click on the link and it'll take you to that Facebook page. What I'd like you to do, and I'm extending the invitation to you to do this, not only do I want you to click on that link and sign up to the group as a member, and I'll personally welcome you again on that group, but I want you to send me a friend request. Now, I started this group last night after midnight. I just felt that God had put it in my heart to do this. And this morning when I woke up, I saw somebody had joined, and I was thrilled to see that. So I wrote him a letter, a note on, and you'll see the welcome letter that I've put there. But I also then tried to do a friend request, and Facebook wouldn't allow me, because it came up with a message that said, I don't know this user, and it said if you don't know the user, then you can't send them a friend request. So that's a little bit tricky, because I want to communicate with you via Messenger. So I want to ask you, if you don't mind, once you've joined the group, once you've clicked on this link below and you join the group, I want you to send me a friend request. You don't have to. I'm just saying if you want to do that, send me a friend request, so that if a time comes where you just want to just chat with me, just share something with me, just if you think there's any way in which I can help you, by way of advice or just being a listening ear, just being there for you, then folks, I would be honored. I would be more than honored to do that. As you can see, I'm not a young guy anymore. I'm getting on in my years, but I bring with me a lifetime of experience with working with young people. I've worked with young teens almost my entire adult life. I've just recently retired after working for 21 years as a technical instructor, where I've worked with not just teens, mostly teens, where I've worked with young adults and even older adults like myself. And I've been around the country and I've spoken at many, many, many dozens of schools, giving talks and presentations and doing one-on-one counseling with young people. Here in Port Alfred, I've had the privilege of even speaking to a couple of folks privately, and they were able to be helped simply because I made myself available to be a listening ear. So nobody, including myself, can promise we have the answer. But one of the things that is important is just to be available. In fact, I want to make myself available. So let me wrap up this video and keep to my promise and to make it not too long. Okay, and just say to you, I'm really extending myself to you personally. My name is Ron, and you can phone me. I'll even put my phone number down at the bottom here. You can WhatsApp me, you can phone me, you can email me, and if you can't get through as a friend and do a friend request, then you can either use my email, you're very free to do that, or you can use my cell number as a WhatsApp message. And when a day comes that you need a listening ear, just pop in a message and I'll reply as soon as I can. So folks, let me encourage you, click on the link below, and then I'll look forward to seeing your membership in the other group. So thank you for the time that you spent just watching this video, and all the best to you. Until later, bye.